Joseph Quinn really did a number on Stranger Things fans by playing Eddie the way he did. Fans can't get enough of him, and we know a lot of you want to watch more of him on the screen now that the show's over. We know we do. So we did what we do best. We made a list of where we can watch him and what he'll be doing next. Interested? Keep watching. So let's start by talking about his old projects, the very first of which was as Tim on CBC's Postcode. It wasn't the biggest role, we admit, but at least it gave him a start. He's also played some well-known literary characters, including Arthur Havisham, Amelia Havisham's brother from the Dickens universe. This was his character in Dickensian between 2015-2016. His role in the show wasn't the most endearing, considering he was scheming to get his sister's inheritance with Meriwether Compeyson, and his end in the show isn't too great either. He was emotionally and physically abused, becomes an alcoholic, and ends up having an implied death. That's even worse than Eddie Munson's fate if you asked us. And he's also considered to be the town's cult leader. Quinn also made an appearance in Prime's adaptation of Les Miserables alongside David Oyelowo, Dominic West, and Olivia Colman. So Eddie knows the Queen, huh? Cool. His character in Les is Enjolras, who's a kind-hearted rebel and leader of the Friends of the ABC. If you asked us, we'd say this character's as charismatic as Munson. You'll also be interested to know that Enjolras' death in the novel also happens after he's cornered by the enemy, in this case the National Guard, and he orders them to shoot him. Not that we see this happen in the show, which is good because how many times does the guy have to die on our screen for our entertainment? Next up is his film Quinn, where he stars as Jamie, a man fighting for the custody of his little brother while struggling with the death of his mother. It's a pretty interesting movie actually, and a little emotional too, where both brothers are shown accepting the truth of the childcare system and working on understanding what's best for them. If you're into pop culture-y hyped shows, this may not be a film for you, but then again, it's just 14 minutes long, and you get to see Quinn show his acting chops in a very different character than Eddie. So we think it's surely worth one watch. Quinn isn't his only short film though. He also starred in Small Axe, a miniseries on Amazon Prime where he plays Dixon in the episode Mangrove. His character in the series is super different from his sympathetic rebel roles. Here, he's a totally unlikable racist police officer who's definitely not someone we'd like to root for. And if you're not into watching him play a problematic character, you'll be glad to know that these aren't the only features he starred in. There's also Mosquitoes, a play he's performed along with Olivia Colman, and also Catherine the Great, where he worked with Helen Mirren in 2019. He's also been in the movies Howard's End, Strike, and Makeup. The last one's even available on Netflix, so you can always go back to watching a Stranger Things episode once you're done with the movie. There's also his character in Game of Thrones, where his character may have been a little obscure, but you'll remember him if we told you who he was. Remember when Arya returns to Winterfell after Jon Snow defeats Ramsay Bolton? Remember the guards who turn her down and laugh at her for claiming she's a Stark? One of them was Joe. We told you you'd remember him. So what's Joseph Quinn up to now? Nothing big yet. After his stint as Eddie, his only appearance has been in the trailer for the reboot of Lords of the Fallen as the narrator. Other than that, he'll be making an appearance in Luna Carmoon's Horde, which is a movie about a bond between a mother and daughter. He's also recently signed with CAA, an American talent and sports agency. Let's hope they find him some super cool projects to star in. Until then, the actor, who's now worth $3 million by the way, is probably lounging around his London home, or maybe being interrogated by airport security. We're not kidding, this has actually happened. Security at the immigration department, while interviewing him, couldn't believe he was traveling to the US for the Jimmy Fallon show, until another member of the staff recognized him and said, "Leave Eddie alone." This was when the original interviewer also recognized him, and he even asked whether he was coming back for season 5 or not. Joseph's answer, "I hope so. We do too, Joe. We do too." And while we don't know if that'll happen, there's one place you can definitely find him while you wait for news of the 5th season, and that place is Stranger Things. Guys, how did you not guess that? Let's be honest, no matter how many goofy rebel roles he's played over the years, none of them are Eddie, right? So where else can we watch our favorite Hellfire leader other than Stranger Things itself? And it's not like it's the first time we'll be rewatching the show, is it? In fact, we're pretty sure we'll be watching Eddie Munson join the Hawkins Heroes more than once. Because even though Joe has said he hopes to see himself back in the next season, who knows if it's going to happen or not? Luckily, despite Eddie dying in the show, we can keep this memory alive thanks to Netflix. Oh, and let's not forget Lord of the Rings. Wait, he hasn't worked in the Lord of the Rings. Not that you don't know that already, but did you know that he said he hopes to get to work in the franchise somehow? You do know part of the Lord of the Ring franchise is back with Rings of Power, right? Does this mean we'll get to see him in the show? No one knows, but, and we're quoting Joseph himself here, we hope so. And now that we're done telling you all about Joseph Quinn, let's talk about some other news about his co-stars and Stranger Things itself. First, First, we have the episode count from Season 5. Yes, guys, Season 5 announcements have finally started making the rounds, and first on the list is the customary episode count. How many episodes? Well, 8, according to the writers' board the Duffer Brothers showed us on their official Twitter account. This means we'll have one less episode than the 4th season. Let's hope they make up for that by increasing the runtime of each episode instead. And we know this isn't groundbreaking news, but we'll take any news about Season 5 at this point. But it isn't the only thing we're going to talk about, because next we have the finale script from Season 4. That's recently dropped by the Stranger writers on Twitter. Honestly, guys, if you're not following the account yet, go do it already. And make sure to read the script they've released. We promise you it's a goosebump-raising ride that you won't regret. Spores, volcano-like rifts, evil spreading across the ground and the sky. Reading all that's made us relive the scene all over again, and we love the creativity with which the script is written. The script also tells us that whatever's falling from the sky is rotting the earth. Does this mean Season 5's Hawkins will be a dystopic version of the current original one? We can't wait to find out. And if you're wondering, you can read more scripts on the account, including Mike and Will's van scene, Steve and Eddie's scene in the woods, and this one. And last, we have news about the cast. Nothing new, we're afraid. Although we have come across a tweet or two saying Sadie Sink's listed as a guest star for the next season. Apparently that's just a rumor. This news is about the cast in Season 4, where the kids had obviously grown up between the break and filming. The showmakers weren't loving that for obvious reasons, and recently news has come out that the kids were asked to pitch up their voices during filming, especially Will, who was 14 or 15 in Season 4, but Noah Schnapp is nearing 18. And if you look back at Seasons 2 and 3, you'll find how young he is there. So, according to the actor, when they were filming, a director came up to him and legit asked if he could slouch a little and speak in a higher tone. They even asked him if there was any way they could bring his Season 1 innocence back. Can you believe it? Like, we know you want him to act young, but bring his innocence back? That's just a joke. Let's just say it's a good thing the next season's going to have a time jump, because we're sure these kids can't act younger anymore. And even we're ready to watch them don their adult garb to fight the new monsters the writers have in store for us. Oh, and Vecna too. And that's a wrap for this video. What project would you like to see Joe Quinn in next? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.